Grace is amazing. Every day I thank Our Lady for this grace. I know if I don't thank Our Lady, and if I don't ask for more, I will turn back to the way I was, that revolted little brat that I had been, and I'll be worse. I'll be worse because if you reject a grace from Our Lady, you don't go back to where you were. You go further back in your spiritual life. So every single day I thank Our Lady for that. So the year was 2015. I picked up bagpipes to replace the rap and heavy metal that I'd been listening to, and to fill that void, right? Because you always need to, if you have a bad habit, you need to fill the void, right? So that really was very successful. 2015 was also then the year of the marriage referendum. And it was a great opportunity for me to not just consciously become Catholic, but actively become Catholic. And I started helping with Irish Society for Christian Civilization in their campaigns to defend traditional marriage in Ireland on the streets. We did a couple of weeks of campaigns, but many other campaigns all across the whole country. And this was a very exciting time for me. A great time to try and defend my faith. I realized how little I knew also, and a great learning for me. And helping the Rosary rallies, youth activities, and these campaigns. This really, really helped. So at the end of the summer, I reapplied for the St. Louis de Montfort Academy, and thanks be to God and to the great teachers there, they reaccepted me, and I came, and I'll never forget walking into my new room, and on my pillow was the book True Devotion to Mary. This is the customary welcome for any new student, is the book True Devotion to Mary by St. Louis de Montfort. This book became a bedside book and an axis of my spiritual life. Later that year then, I was praying in the chapel. The organ in the chapel was also playing, and there was a big clap of lightning and thunder all at the same moment. It was very, very close. And in that moment, I somehow realized how evil the world was and how much Our Lady was suffering in this world. You know, Ireland had just voted in same-sex marriage, and that was probably a big part of it. Many other evil things were happening at the time, and it all kind of dawned on me and hit me at that moment. And how Our Lady is constantly being insulted through blasphemies and sacrileges, and also through indifference of so many Catholics. And I realized how indifferent I had been through my life, especially up to that point, and in the face of Our Lady's pains and sufferings. And I made a decision there to defend Our Lady as much as I can, and to dedicate my life to her defense and the defense of the Catholic Church. I realized very quickly that I needed a much greater devotion to Our Lady, and praying 3 rosaries a day then became a staple of every day. Every single day, pray 3 rosaries, receive communion daily as much as I could, adoration of the Blessed Sacrament also, and the consecration, to repeat my consecration to Our Lady by St. Louis de Montfort then daily as well. And it became such a habit. Even just recently, it was basically midnight and I was in bed and I could not sleep. Even though I had a very long day, I could not sleep. And I picked up my rosary as a good advice from my mother years ago. If you can't sleep at night, pick up your rosary, start praying. And either one of two things will happen. You'll start praying the rosary, which is very good, or you'll fall asleep. So I started praying, and by the 5th Hail Mary, I realized I'd forgotten to pray one of my rosaries, and that's why I couldn't sleep. I physically could not sleep because I hadn't said all my prayers. So I got up then, walked around and prayed that last rosary. So it really has become an indispensable part of my daily life. After some time, I found this calling of being a missionary for the faith fulfilled in this association of this family of souls, tradition, family property. And I started helping as much as I could in their campaigns, in their programs, in their youth apostolates, Rosary rallies here in Ireland, and when I could outside of the school in America as well. And it really, really started helping me and my spiritual life as well. I then spent the next 2.5 years in the United States in their group called Sede Sapientiae Institute, which is there to help those discerning. It's to teach history and Catholic social doctrine and philosophy, these type of things. And we would study from Tuesday till Friday, and on Mondays we would go out to the public square, particularly college campuses, and spread literature on the Miraculous Medal, defending the Catholic Church, defending the traditional marriage, or the right to life, these type of things. And it was a great time in my life for sure. COVID then interrupted these studies and activities, and I returned here to Ireland to help with the Irish sister group of TFP, which is called here Irish Society for Christian Civilization, also known by its main campaign called Ireland Needs Fatima. Ireland Needs Fatima had been promoting the Rosary rallies since 2013. With a lot of hard work and a big grace from Our Lady, we really started expanding these Rosary rallies. Last few years we've had close to 600 Rosary rallies. And this is a great way to answer the wickedness and the public sin that Ireland is so unfortunately filled with, and give a great opportunity to Catholics to show and spread their Catholic faith, and then also to lapsed Catholics to give them a great opportunity to come back to the faith. It's an honor more than anything to be fighting for the Catholic Church and for Our Lady, Queen of Ireland. One of the great lines from True Devotion to Mary is that if we don't have Our Lady as our mother, we do not have God as our Father. And every day we need to pray the Rosary, we need to offer reparation for all the sins, and through this we can become saints. Is another opportunity and duty that we have to make reparation and to stand up for our faith, in a time that the faith is becoming less and less popular, where it's harder and harder to be Catholic. But it's more and more of an opportunity to practice that heroic virtue of faith and charity, and then also of hope. It's very rare that you get to see the miraculous statue of Our Lady of Fatima, the original made by Sister Lucia after the apparitions of Fatima. And it was an incredible time to spend an entire day with this statue, praying in front of her. And I knelt down and literally just unloaded everything, all my concerns, worries, my embarrassments, my annoyances at her feet. And when I looked up after that, there was a great feeling of consolation, a very, very motherly consolation from Our Lady. And this was one of the many, many times that Our Lady has given me great grace in a time of great need.